Hi guys, it's Alchemisted. Let's see, what can I... the rendering of Gears of War, if you're wondering what the fuck's going on, later in the week, it's because I'm rendering Gears of War, and it's like 5 hours of footage, and I played through the whole damn game. I beat the game, and I'm rendering it now, and that's what's taken forever. In the meantime, I'm going to upload something that I played on a lark, Streets of Rage. It's from, and I'm not sure if I'll finish that game or not. This was more or less just recorded, just for the hell of it, because I was tired as hell, and I was asleep and partially insane. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not here to talk about that at all. What I am here to talk about is the finale of Warehouse 13, which has quickly become one of my favorite shows this summer. I'm a little surprised. When the show first aired, when I saw the pilot, I wasn't really that impressed with it. It seemed like a combination of Eureka and Sanctuary, like retreading old ground with it, and I wasn't really too big a fan. I found the writing a little bit too bright and sunny is the best way. Even for a show that's fairly lighthearted, the writing is really, really, really bright and sunny. And, that kind of turned me off at first. One of the main characters, Pete Latimer, is a Secret Service agent who's basically a 5-year-old who is, like, 6 foot tall. Until I realized that, and it bothered me. Until I realized, dude, that's me. I mean, not the 6 foot tall part, but the little kid part. It's more or less me. And, it's kind of, once I realized that, it was a lot more enjoyable to watch. But I didn't, I watched the show because it was interesting. It wasn't, I wasn't that impressed with it, but it was an interesting show, and let's face it, there isn't anything on TV. Even in the fall, there's barely anything on TV. The number of shows I find interesting to watch on TV, I could probably count on one hand. Let's see. But the season finale of Warehouse 13, of the first season, the Sci-Fi channel, retarded, renewed it for a second season, which is great. But the Sci-Fi Channel has a bad habit of canceling good shows in like the third or the fourth season. So, it's not really a cause for optimism as far as I'm concerned. Because they canceled Atlantis, in its 5th season? If you can probably tell I have something of a lisp. That's because I smashed my tooth. I talk about it in like Gears of War. I took a fall and I smashed my tooth, and that's why I have like a lisp right now. Let's see. What else? But basically, I'm not going to spoil the plot of the episode if you want to watch it this Friday. But basically, the episode revolves around a character called McPherson, who's sort of become the main villain of the show, and the many subtle ways he fucks with the protagonists in every form of the word imaginable. The entire episode is just like, the end of the episode would have made David Xanatos proud. Let me just say that. If there is such thing as a crowning moment of villainy, the end of the episode certainly qualifies as it. It's just, wow. If I had any problems with the episode, it would probably be that, one, I guessed who the mole was, one of the episode kind of revolves around, who can be trusted, who can't. And I guessed correctly who the problem was, like the first 10 or 15 minutes of the episode. But then it starts throwing, like, these curveballs at you. Like, oh, there's this thing that can make people look like somebody else. And all sorts of little stuff that tries to kind of confuse the issue of who is or isn't the, traitor. And I had it nailed down, and you could almost make it a drinking game in the episode. Like, every time, like, someone gets implicated, take a shot. And every time it turns out to be somebody else, take a shot. And every time they go, but wait, could it be? Take a shot. And at the very end of the episode, it was exactly who I thought it was at the very beginning. But maybe it's because I go to TV tropes way too much that I figured that out. But there you go. But other than that, fucking awesome season finale. Very much better than the Eureka season finale. Much better than Sanctuary's season finale last season. They're about to start a new one, thank God. Far better than Eureka's, though. It really is, like... I don't want to root for him. I don't want to root for McPherson. The man is a bastard. But, the level of a mind screw he pulls on the protagonists, you kind of have to. He just sort of just walks out of there and flips his shades on while everything is going to shit in his wake. And you kind of have to root for the villain when he pulls that, because it's awesome. It's awesome when somebody, I don't want to go any further because I don't want to spoil it. I probably majorly spoiled it for a few people who haven't seen it yet. But if you can, catch it wherever you can. It's a very good episode. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Well, Warehouse 13, I wasn't very impressed with it when the series first started, but now that the season is over, I think it's awesome. I think the show is really cool. Gears of War is being rendered. It's going to take forever to render because it's 5 hours of gameplay. You can... Oh, God. I remember Resident Evil 5 was like 5 hours of gameplay. The very last recording session of Resident Evil 5, where it was basically one sitting, which I beat the game on, and that was like 5 hours of gameplay that I had to render. And it took forever. That's why I don't like long recording sessions. That's why I like record an hour from consoles. It's not for hard drive space reason, because like an hour or so is only like 2 gigabytes, whereas an hour of Fraps footage is like 23 gigabytes for an hour of Fraps footage, as opposed to 2 gigabytes for an hour of console footage when I'm recording to WMV, which I did. I recorded to WMV, which has lower quality, but I was going to be sitting there recording for 5 hours, and I didn't want to destroy my hard drive, so sorry about that. Let's see. The next 5 hours of Gears of War could basically be summed up as stupid AI, Dom is worthless, suffering, lots of suffering, and lots of F-bombs. Also, I totally kill General Ram without even aiming at him, so I'm proud of myself. I killed the final boss without even... You'll see. Hardcore mode complete. Gears of War 2 apparently has a normal mode. It has casual, normal, hardcore, and insane. The next playthrough of a Gears of War game, Gears of War 2, will be on normal mode. No more fucking hardcore. No. Because the AI... It's not that hardcore is hard. Hardcore isn't that hard. Once you get into the game and you get sort of into how it works, and you get your head in the right place. Hardcore mode is not difficult. There's a point in the upcoming footage where I'm dropping Locust one after the other. They don't even have a chance against me. Dom is, of course, lying dead in the corner because Dom is worthless. Dom is a worthless piece of shit. Hardcore mode isn't that hard. But the AI makes it almost unbearable. I get screwed over so much by my teammates that it's not even funny. Well, it is funny. You'll probably laugh, but it wasn't funny from where I was. There were a few parts where I was like, this playthrough is over if I get killed. This playthrough is over if I didn't get checkpointed. This playthrough is over if Dom fucks me over again. And I've even heard that it's become something of an expression. Somebody's a Dom. He's fucking worthless. That's cool. Because he deserves every bit of contempt that he can get. Dom is terrible. Dom is worthless. So he deserves every little bit of contempt people can throw his way. But yeah, I'll be uploading several videos from Streets of Rage sometime soon. I won't be recording anything right now because I'm rendering and rendering, and it eats up my RAM, and I can't do very much else with my computer. I've been playing lots of... The good news is I've been playing lots of BioShock, which I put down a long time ago for some reason. I've been able to play it more now. And yes, David JGB00, he would probably ask this question. Yes, I am playing through the whole damn thing with a shotgun. So that's all for me now. That's just a quick update on what's going on. I'll see you guys later. So, later.